The following video is about a man who has been dealing with something on his property that he describes as escalating every single day. Not just sounds at night, not just the occasional odd moment, but a full pattern of activity that has bled into his waking hours, forced him into corners, and worn him down to the point where you can hear it in his voice. For weeks, he's been capturing audio from inside his shed and garage. Growls, screaming, what sounds like something ripping through the walls from the inside. And he says his Ring camera was physically torn from its mount and carried into the woods. His border collie, Molly, refuses to come inside. She shakes her head and turns away from the open door, and he takes that as confirmation of something he already knows. Watch.
I didn't want to say this, but as of right now, I know for sure there's some type of demonic entity or presence on my property as we speak, and it's happening right now. It's happening during the night. It's happening during the day. It does not matter. In here, man, I'm over it. Oh my God. I have caught every noise imaginable, from groaning to something sounding like it's in pain to screaming. To laughing, to clawing. There's weird 1920s style music playing. People have told me to sage the house. Then people said don't. And then people are telling me to get a priest and an investigator. And then people are telling me don't do that. I've never experienced anything like this, but what is happening right now is shape-shifting every day and is turning into something that I can't even explain. Molly, you wanna come in? Yeah, I have no idea what to do. So if you have not seen my videos and you want to see something absolutely terrifying and absolutely authentic, go and watch my videos.
The audio alone is enough to stop you cold. Deep, guttural growls that don't match any domestic animal, a wailing screech that trails into rapid clicking, and a ripping, tearing sound that the man says is something clawing through his wall insulation. For some viewers, the animal reaction is the most convincing part, because dogs, and border collies in particular, widely regarded as one of the most alert and intelligent breeds, are often thought to sense things that people can't. Others have pointed to the audio as the real evidence, with some online suggesting the growl pattern is consistent with what paranormal communities loosely describe as a territorial entity, something that treats a specific space as its own and responds aggressively to human presence. Skeptics will argue that a large animal like a fisher cat, a wolverine, or even a trapped raccoon can produce sounds remarkably close to what's been captured here. That explanation is harder to dismiss until you add everything else. The camera being dragged into the woods, the insulation damage, the dog's refusal, and then it starts to feel like too much to explain away with one animal. But the man isn't asking anyone to explain it anymore. He says it's changing shape every day and becoming something he can't even put into words. The second clip takes you directly inside that shed, and this time he's on camera himself. Watch.
don't even know what to do. I'll take any help, any recommendations. I know there's been a lot of comments and stuff. The door's wide open, man. I know there's been a lot of comments and requests and everything to try to help me out. I'll take it. I'll take any advice I possibly can. Let me show you guys. I don't have any outlets up there. And this is all I can do. Look, all I can do is run that right here and set it down. That's the best I can get for ring cameras to try to reach up here. So, man, I'm almost in tears, bro. Like, I'm almost in tears. It looked like something ripped a hole in there. I'm gonna have to look back in videos and see if that thing was ripped like that. Man, guys, I mean, listen, again, I believe if you don't believe me. And I hate saying that because I'm that guy now, bro. I'm that guy. I've seen videos like this before pop up, and I'm just like, all right, if that was only real. Dude, this is happening, man. And I didn't think shit could get like this. Listen, man, what did you guys say? Sage the place? Listen, I'll do it. I'll do whatever you think is best. What was that? Man, dude, I just heard something too. At this point, just show me. Just show me. Show yourself. And I know people said stop being mean to it. I'm not being mean, man. I'm just being realistic. Come on. This is tormenting me. This is tormenting me, man. I can't sleep. Come on. Come on, man. I heard that too. What do you want? What do you want? Please, just tell me. Please, what do you need, man? What do you need? You seem like you're in pain or suffering or something, man. Just tell me. I saw something up here. I saw you trying to make contact, man. Please. Okay. Guys, I mean, I don't know, I might 1 or 2 more videos or some shit if I catch something. I just think this is making it worse. I think it's making it worse. Listen to that. Listen to that. Like, I can't just leave this. Man, listen to that. Well, come on then. Come on. Man, I'm not gonna just leave this camera out here to just scare me more, bro. People said put a camera out. That's the best I can do.
He walks into the building with his phone pointed up at a dark attic space above him, where torn insulation hangs through the opening, and he describes the damage as brand new, something he hadn't seen there before. Then, while he's standing there talking directly into the camera, pleading with whatever's up there to just show itself, a low rumbling growl rolls out of the dark attic and he flinches. It happens again. Then a loud bang. He looks up and there's nothing visible, just darkness and the ragged edges of torn insulation. He says he can't sleep. That alone is hard to fake. What makes this particular clip harder to dismiss is the location. The same shed, the same attic opening, the same sounds that appeared in the Ring camera footage. And the growls respond directly to his voice, which has led some viewers to suggest whatever is up there is reacting with intent. Others familiar with infrasound theory have argued that certain animals can produce low-frequency growls that trigger fear responses in humans and cause emotional distress during prolonged exposure, which might explain why the man's reaction has escalated so dramatically over time. Then comes the live stream footage. He had over 1,000 people watching in real time when this happened. Listen closely.
This was captured from a live stream the other night. I had 1,200 people in this stream. They all saw this happen. Shout out to Savannah for recording this and sending it to me. Watch this. No, dude. Dude.
An unseen source in the crawl space lets out a loud, aggressive screech, and the person holding the camera runs. After a moment, they come back in, flashlight sweeping across the floor, and that's when it gets strange again. A faint, high-pitched electronic melody starts playing near a small red wagon sitting in the middle of the room, with no obvious source. The music box sound in an otherwise empty dark shed is the kind of detail that's harder to attribute to an animal than the growls are, and it connects back to what he described in the first video. 1920s style music playing from somewhere on his property with no explanation. 3 clips, 1 property, and a man who says he doesn't know what to do next. If you've been watching his footage from the beginning, the question isn't whether something is there anymore. The question is what it wants, and whether it's the kind of thing that answers when you ask. Also, what would you do if your own camera ended up in the woods? This next video was recorded inside a house, and according to the owner, what started as an unnerving feeling has steadily turned into something far harder to dismiss. The first incident was captured during the day. Watch. You can see the reflection of someone moving around the house on the wall. In the next clip, a woman was home alone when they heard the front door sound like someone was unlocking it from outside. She assumed it was her husband returning early from work, but when she set her phone down to record, no one came in. Listen closely. For the entire 31 seconds of the clip, a series of knocking sounds can be heard hitting what sounds like a hard wooden surface. 3 deliberate knocks, then a pause, then 2 more, then single knocks scattered in between, over and over, changing in rhythm and cadence but never fully stopping. The source is never shown. No one enters. No one speaks. The pattern of it is what unsettles people most. It doesn't sound random, the way a house settling or a pipe knocking might. It sounds like something waiting to be let in. In parts of Southeast Asian spiritual tradition, persistent pattern knocking with no visible source is sometimes associated with entities known to mimic familiar sounds to provoke a response. The belief being that answering or acknowledging them is exactly what they want. Whether that framing applies here or not, the footage gives you plenty to think about. The family's response came next, and if anything, it tells you more about how seriously they were taking all of this than any footage could. Watch. After hearing unexplained sounds and feeling a sudden overwhelming cold in the kitchen, the family had reached a point where they felt something needed to be done. What he's doing is a form of spiritual cleansing, the kind practiced in many Southeast Asian Muslim households using blessed water or other protective substances to reclaim a space that feels compromised. That alone tells you how far beyond a squeaky door hinge this had become for them. One door swinging shut could be explained. Knocking with no source could be dismissed. But when a family starts cleansing every corner of the home, it suggests the activity had become something they could no longer rationalize, and something they weren't convinced had stopped. What would you do? Now, this next clip was recorded by a man named Ray Turner, a self-described collector of haunted artifacts who lives in what he believes is a genuinely active home, and on this particular morning, during what should have been a quiet start to the day, something made itself very known. According to Ray, he'd been woken by banging sounds coming from downstairs, the kind of loud, rhythmic thumping that carries through the floor and pulls you out of sleep before you've had a chance to rationalize it. He grabbed his phone and came downstairs to investigate, narrating as he went, telling the camera there shouldn't be anyone down there. Watch.
Can hear banging coming from downstairs. It woke me up this morning. But there shouldn't be anybody down here. Hello? Oh my god. Hello? Hello? What the fuck? Oh, Will, you okay? Hello? Oh my god, what's going on? Please forgive the heavy breathing, I was in complete shock here. As some of you may know, I collect haunted artifacts from various locations. Also, is that an orb? Anyway, I was recently interviewed by the Liverpool Echo, specifically regarding this haunted painting I recently acquired. It details a scene of Wigan Town Centre from the 1940s, and allegedly the artist took his own life after creating this picture. The atmosphere in the house has altered since this was brought in, and this morning just proves my theory, this is haunted.
As Ray reaches the bottom of the stairs, a glass flies violently from off camera and shatters on the wooden floor right in front of him. Then, a second heavy bang shakes the room, and beneath his panicked breathing, a low, guttural voice is audible, something distorted and deep that he didn't seem to hear in the moment. That voice is what most viewers fixate on after watching this. Some believe it's an EVP, an electronic voice phenomenon, a term used to describe sounds that appear in recordings but weren't audible to anyone present at the time, as if whatever caused them exists outside normal hearing range. Others think the whole sequence points to classic poltergeist activity, which historically isn't associated with a passive haunting, but with something more disruptive, something that interacts with the physical world with intent. Ray's own theory connects back to a painting he recently acquired, a street scene of Wigan Town Centre from the 1940s, reportedly created by an artist who took his own life after finishing it, and he's convinced the atmosphere in his home shifted the moment it came through the door. The second clip was recorded the same evening, after dark, with the activity far from over. He'd noticed the temperature drop, found what looked like a child's fingerprints on the mirror, and was already on edge when he panned toward the dining room. Watch.
Some bizarre things are going on in here. I fell asleep on the couch this afternoon. I can hear strange banging noises, and there's like a child's fingerprints on the mirror. See, can you hear it? This is the frame that's previously caused us a bit of trouble. Oh, do you know, I can almost see my breath. It's gone icy cold in here. Freezing. What? So not only am I dealing with the candles blowing out on the road and the cornflakes falling off, the cat's going mad now. What's he looking at? You alright, mate? What you doing? There's nothing there. What the... Don't go out there. Don't go. Stay here, I'm not following you out there. I don't know what on earth is going on in this house today. As you can see from those clips as well, the cat's acting really strange. He's been doing that for ages now. Looking around the room, darting back and forth like that. Then, as you could hear as well, there was like banging noise in the kitchen, and both of them ran out there. When I've gone in after it, there's nothing there. I don't know what the hell is going on in this house. There's been nothing for ages, nothing at all. But just today, there's been an atmosphere as well. Something's changed. I'm staying upstairs until my partner gets home because it's terrified me, to be honest.
3 candles on the dining table extinguish simultaneously, just gone, with a soft whoosh. And then the cat bolts from the staircase toward the kitchen, and a cereal box falls from the counter with no one anywhere near it. Ray's voice in this clip says it all. There's been nothing for ages, and then all at once, everything shifts in a single day. For viewers who follow cases involving haunted objects, that pattern feels familiar. A period of quiet, then a sudden escalation, as if something needed time to settle into a new space before making itself known. Ray says he retreated upstairs and waited for his partner to come home. You have to wonder what happened after the camera stopped rolling, because whatever came in with that painting doesn't seem like it's finished. The following clip is about a couple, Jeff and Lauren Lowe, animal lovers and parents to their young daughter, Sarah. For a while now, this family has been dealing with a series of disturbing and unexplained events inside their home. Their cats have been caught hissing at empty corners. There's often the unmistakable feeling that someone else is in the room when no one is there, and even more unsettling, Their daughter has complained about hearing someone whisper her name when she's alone. They've also reported tapping sounds when no one else is home, along with sudden, violent rattling of doors that seems to come out of nowhere. These incidents have become frequent enough that the family no longer sees them as isolated events. One day, after returning home, something immediately caught Lauren's attention. Watch.
Oh my gosh, no way. Stop the car. Hold on, stop. Check this out. Guys, we just got home. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look. It's seriously doing it again. We just got home. And you guys are right. There are no other bushes beneath any of the other ones. And I did fix the chain. And it's still doing this. So I have no idea if it has anything to do with the bush. I don't know about you guys, but I am not touching it. I'm not disturbing it. If it is a spirit playing with it. I mean, look at it. And none of the other ones are going. So it's really strange how it's the only one going. And yeah, it is the only one with a bush under it. So it's interesting.
Could whatever they've been experiencing be connected to that bush? Some viewers believe the bush can act as a conduit, a place where energy gathers or something unseen anchors itself. Others suggest animals or even spirits may use it as cover, moving through it without being seen. A few have gone as far as to say the bush may need to be removed entirely, claiming it could be masking whatever is trying to interact with the house. But until Lauren decides to clear the bush, this strange activity remains unsolved. This next clip comes from a woman you might recognize from previous videos, the same one who bought a Chevy truck that her dog Titus refused to go near. At the time, people brushed it off as a strange quirk. Titus would grunt, sniff the air, and completely refuse to enter the vehicle, no matter how much encouragement he got. Now, he's acting strange again, but this time it's not the truck. It's something inside the house. Watch.
That is...
What? What's wrong?
Anything?
Taz, what is that?
Titus is visibly uneasy in the living room, focusing on one specific area as if something invisible has his attention. Some viewers suggested installing a carbon monoxide detector, thinking the dog might be sensing something coming from the fireplace. Others blamed mice. But according to the woman, whenever there's a mouse in the house, the cat immediately goes into hunting mode. This time, the cat wasn't acting like prey was nearby. Friends have advised her to contact a pet psychic, and she says that's her next step. Until then, she's continued documenting Titus's behavior, trying to catch a pattern. But things got more disturbing when the cat too started acting strange. Watch this.
You want to hear? James. Why do you want to hear it? Ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, go on. Hi. What was that? What was that?
After repeatedly trying to head into the garage, the cat suddenly freezes, backing away as if something is blocking the entrance. And when Titus joined them and started acting in his usual strange manner, she became convinced that something's in the garage. Garages are often described as transitional spaces, places between inside and outside. And in paranormal cases, they're frequently linked to unexplained noises, shadow movement, and animal reactions. Some believe they act as entry points, while others say residual energy can linger there unnoticed. So is there really something in her garage that only her pets can sense? Or is there an explanation everyone is missing? You decide. Now in this next video, a woman named Simone has been living what can only be described as a waking nightmare. What makes her situation especially disturbing is that whatever is in her house can now open doors on its own. In many paranormal cases, this is considered a major turning point, an escalation that often leads to constant oppression, severe sleep deprivation, emotional breakdowns, and in some reports, even physical harm if nothing is done. Sadly, Simone says that's exactly what she's been experiencing. Watch.
Do you guys hear that noise? It's been like this all night. I can't make it stop. And when I get up and check the door, there's no one there. Oh my God. I'm terrified. Go away. Go away. I don't want to make it stop. I don't want to make them go away.
Eventually, she works up the courage to open the door, only to find that no one is there. Many believe this is a bad sign because opening doors to unexplained knocking, especially at odd hours, is thought to be a form of acknowledgement. In folklore and paranormal belief, responding to these knocks is believed to grant whatever is present permission to move closer, cross boundaries, or increase its activity. And after that moment, things did escalate. One day, while Simone was home alone, she started hearing voices. Listen carefully.
Do you guys hear that? No one is home. My sister left for the whole weekend. Who is that? Who is that in my house?
For those who doubt that mimics exist, this is where the story becomes even more unsettling. Simone says the voices sounded exactly like people she knows, loved ones who were nowhere near her at the time. Mimic entities are often described as using familiar voices to create trust, lower defenses, or lure people into responding. Just days after this clip, things got more intense. Whatever had been tormenting Simone inside her home no longer stayed confined there. It began following her outside. Watch this.
I was walking back to my car in the parking garage, and I keep hearing my name. It's coming from the stairs, but I don't see anyone on the stairs. I've been up and down these stairs. I don't see anyone. That's why I've just been staying inside. I can't trust anything anymore.
At times, it sounds as if someone is directly behind her, or suddenly in front of her. The constant presence has left her terrified to even step outside, unsure of where it might appear next. Many later connected these events back to her very first video, saying the shadowy figure she captured in the woods may have followed her home. Because of this, she's been warned not to acknowledge it, not to speak to it, react to it, or engage in any way. According to those familiar with attachment cases, acknowledgement is believed to strengthen these entities, feeding them attention and allowing them to tighten their hold. Whatever is happening to Simone, it's no longer limited to one place, and that's what makes this case so unsettling. In this next video, a woman becomes convinced that something isn't right in her attic, and here's why. Watch closely.
So I have this little room up in my attic, and I want to show you guys what I found in here. But first, look at this. I've been up here 2 times. I've lived in this house for 3 years, and I've been here. This will be my 2nd time. And I started doing some picking up, but that's my house down there. And this is, so if you close the door, look how tiny it is. But look at the doorknob. It's literally a foot away from the ground. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Okay, so anyways, let me just open that up real quick. I found this little guy up here. He has like a little thing to put batteries, which I'm going to try and see if it works. That'll be so cool, but it's so old and dusty. And I found him back here in this hole. I covered it back up because it's a little scary, but it's full of things. Oh, what was that?
The first thing people notice is the hole. Where does it actually go? And more importantly, what just moved? She can't explain it, so she goes back later to take clear photos of the opening, hoping to get a better look at what's inside. This time, nothing seems out of place. No movement, no shadows, just silence. But in her next video, she films the inside of her home to clear up questions viewers kept asking, especially about the furniture stored in the attic. There's no possible way those items could fit through the small opening that leads up there. Watch carefully.
You can't really see what was seen on the previous video. Plus, I was by myself. There was nobody in here. There was nobody walking around. This is the closet. And then there's one more. Let me show you guys. This is another room. Again, no holes in the ceilings. Another vent, but no like visible holes that you could see through. And then the closet, no holes. But there is a weird little door again. I don't know what's up with the weird little doors. That one's sealed. You can't open it. It's sealed. Let's go upstairs. We're up here already, and I got to the room, and I want to show you guys. I cleaned up a little bit, but to answer some of your questions, someone asked, what does this window lead to right next to the door? And I don't know. It's sealed, and there's like, yeah, it's just covered with siding. And then how did the furniture get up here? I'm assuming somebody built this up here. However, I don't know how this chair got up here. It's pretty big. I'm assuming right before they built the room, maybe they put it up here. I don't know. And then for the hole, there, as you can see, there's electricity. Oh, something else. These cables, these were all plugged in. and they go this way. Let me grab this light so I can show you guys. But let me go here. 1 second, because oh god. So the wires go all the way in here, and they're connected to something that just, there's more trash on this side of the house. See? Oh shit, there's a big ass one. Okay, so that's that side, right? The left side. But the right side, let's go take a look at the right side real quick. It's so hot in here. Oh boy. Okay, so there's no mirrors. I know you guys were saying, oh, there's a mirror. There's no mirror, no holes, just trash. Like, I don't know.
Some people suggest the unthinkable, that someone could be living up there without her knowledge. Others mention something far more disturbing, a disappointment room. A disappointment room is believed to be a hidden space in older homes where families once confined relatives who were physically or mentally disabled, often kept out of sight and spoken about in shame. Paranormal researchers believe locations tied to isolation, neglect, or suffering can retain emotional imprints, sometimes manifesting as unexplained movement, sounds, or the feeling of being watched. Not long after these theories surfaced, she began noticing things that seemed to support the idea that the attic once served a darker purpose. Watch this.
I was gonna just update you guys once I was finished, but I wanted to show you while I was grabbing my vacuum from downstairs. I noticed this little latch, and I know a lot of you guys in the comments were saying that this might have been a disappointment room, and I'm slowly starting to believe that it might have been. There's also the electrical outlet, or the little on and off switch for the electricity. For all the lights that are in here are powered on from the outside, as well as I think that they might have locked the door from the outside using this little thing with a lock. So yeah, it's a little sad actually.
Now, many have urged her to place a camera up there, especially since some still believe a living person could be accessing the space in secret. Others are convinced whatever remains up there isn't human at all. But what do you think? A hidden room with a disturbing past? Or someone living where they shouldn't be? I'll leave you to be the judge of this one. Now, in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his solo investigation at the infamous Squirrel Cage Jail, officially known as the Pottawatomie County Jail in Iowa. And this isn't just any abandoned jail. Built back in 1885, the structure is infamous for its rotating cage design, a mechanism that was meant to move inmates from cell to cell, but often jammed, trapping prisoners inside for hours, sometimes even days, completely helpless. This time, Ian makes his way towards solitary confinement, one of the most feared areas of the jail. But before he even reaches it, something stops him in his tracks. Watch closely.
This is where you'd go if you were acting a fool. Oh my gosh, look how creepy that looks. What the heck? I thought I heard something down there. Hello? Anyone down there? Let's go on a little further. Oh, it's tight. This is just the hallway leading up to it. Hello? There it is. You see that? Damn, that looks terrifying. Is there somebody back here? Look how small that is. That is literally your cell in solitary. You can't even sit in there. You'd have to stand. And to think that they would keep you in there for hours to even days. I mean, just imagine trying to sleep in a place like this.
To see if whatever was there could interact, Ian pulls out his K2 meter and places it carefully on the cell door, asking simple questions and waiting for a response. Watch what happens next.
If there's somebody in this cell, could you touch that green light? You just did it. Okay. Thank you. Could you touch it one more time? Holy crap. Okay, there's somebody in here. How did you end up in solitary? Did you fight somebody? Yes. Oh, guys, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm getting really creepy feelings. Is it okay that I'm back here? Do you not like me over here? Oh, no way, guys. He wants me gone. If you want me gone, I dare you to try to scare me out of here. Holy shit!
Without warning, the K2 is knocked off the door, hitting the ground hard. Ian hadn't touched it, there was no airflow, no vibration, and the device wasn't balanced in a way that it could simply fall on its own. To many investigators, physical interaction like this is considered a major escalation, a sign that whatever is present isn't just passing through, it's reacting. Also, solitary confinement in old jails is often linked to intense emotional energy, isolation, fear, anger. And some believe spirits tied to those spaces are far more aggressive when disturbed. After what Ian experienced, it's hard not to wonder, was this a warning or something daring him to stay? This jail has seen years of isolation, panic, and desperation. Men locked inside a metal cage that could stop turning at any moment, left in darkness, unable to move, scream, or escape. Some believe that kind of suffering doesn't fade, it imprints. And when someone walks those halls alone, asking questions, turning on equipment, it may be enough to wake something that never truly left. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was recorded around 3 a.m. by a guy who struggles to sleep at night, so he usually keeps himself busy until the exhaustion finally kicks in. On this particular night, he was watching TV like he always does, but when he stood up to head to bed, he suddenly felt something. Watch this.
What's up? What the f? Did you hear that jingle then? You hear that jingle? That definitely moved. What the f is going on in this house? And my cat as well just keeps doing this. My cat just keeps walking around meowing, which is also freaking me out. So weird. So weird. Are you here to hurt me? Are you here to do me harm? Are you friendly? Whoa, what the f? Nah. Nah, f off. No way. What the f? No, man. No way that just moved. Loki? Loki? You need to get out of my house, whatever you are, whoever you are, you need to leave. You need to leave right now. I don't know what's going on. For fuck's sake.
The moment viewers saw the African mask hanging on his wall, the comments section exploded. People wanted to know where he got it, how long he'd had it, and whether its presence lined up with the strange activity he'd been experiencing. And the more he talked, the more everything started to make sense. He revealed that he's owned the mask for a year, but it had only been inside his home for a couple of months. And ever since then, he'd been hearing noises while lying in bed. Light taps, distant footsteps, soft shuffling in the hallway. At first, he ignored it, but now it's escalating. Another morning, around 4 a.m., wide awake again and unable to shake the uneasiness, he finally decided to make a video for everyone begging to see the mask up close. Watch.
Anyone's got any opinions on this after they've seen it up close? What kind of mask it is? How old it might be? No expert. But what the Well, that's not freaky, is it? Jesus Christ. For fuck's sake. I'm tripping over stuff now. Hello? Hello? Hell. Everyone's been saying, why have you got the lights off all the time? The landing light does not work, right? There's no bulb in this light. Because usually I ain't shit scared of going upstairs. But I'm doing this because I just want to try and prove to you all there's nobody in the house but me and whatever the this is with me. Oh! Oh my god! Oh, you fucking hell. There was a figure in the window. There was a silhouette in the window. There was a silhouette in the window. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why are you doing this? Huh?
After that clip surfaced, his viewers began sharing their own experiences with similar African masks. Some claimed the masks brought them sudden waves of bad luck until they removed them from their homes. Others said their once quiet house became strangely active and unsettling the moment the mask was hung up. Many urged him to get rid of it before whatever was attached to it got comfortable. And here's where things get even more intriguing. In many African cultures, traditional masks aren't just decorations, they're spiritual artifacts. Some are used in ceremonies to honor ancestors, summon spirits, or protect the tribe. But others serve as conduits, symbols meant to channel ancient energies, often tied to rituals outsiders may not fully understand. If a mask like this was once used in a ritual or belonged to a lineage of spiritual significance, it could carry an imprint, a presence. So the real question is, does he just have an artifact on his wall, or did he unknowingly bring something ancient into his home? In this next clip, two friends were on their way home after a party. They were still laughing, still hyped, and decided to record a quick video to send to the friends who couldn't make it, just to show them how the night went and how chaotic the party had been. But while filming that harmless update, they ended up capturing something entirely different. Have a look.
Got my son in the back seat. Shut your You ain't getting no ice cream! Why do you scream like that? No. Hello? Hello? I don't like that. That was her. Grab the phone. What the heck? Did we just catch a paranormal Huh? Grab the phone. I'm not doing this no more. Grab the phone. I'm trying. Don't leave me. What do you do? I'm about to fall on my face. No, I'm not. No! No, do not. Door. Is it still recording? Yes! Oh my god, it's me.
Now, here's where things get strange. The exact moment they screamed, the car's light suddenly went off. But could there be a normal explanation? Some people think so. They argue that loud vibrations inside a car can loosen wiring or cause an already faulty light to flicker. Maybe the timing was just a strange coincidence, but others aren't buying it. They point out that the light didn't dim. It cut out instantly, like something interfered with the energy around them. Some are convinced they might have stirred up something they couldn't see, something that reacted the moment their voices spiked. So did their screaming disrupt the car light, or did they unknowingly catch a paranormal moment on camera? You decide. Now in this next video, a woman named Jennifer Ricks stumbled upon an old clip her daughter recorded about a year ago. Before finding this video, Jennifer had already been dealing with strange things around the house. Moments where she'd be sitting completely still, home alone, and a dark shadow would walk past the hallway like it had somewhere to be. Her dog, normally calm, also barks at odd hours of the night, sometimes staring into corners as if watching something move. But she never connected any of it. Not until she saw this clip. According to her daughter, the moment she was filming, it felt like someone was trying to take a peek at her from behind the door. That quiet, unsettling sensation of being watched, the same feeling Jennifer herself had dismissed for months. And when you put this clip side by side with all the strange things that have been happening in the house, it's hard not to understand why Jennifer now believes something is truly off. But the real fear isn't what they've already seen. It's what might come next. If this presence has been around for over a year without them realizing it, what else has it been doing that they haven't noticed yet? Until more updates come in, this one remains completely unsolved. The following footage was taken by a man's home camera, and what he later saw still stuns him to this day. Have a look.
You want to see something weird? I have the blink camera and the poltergeist static. Now I know that nobody is home. I check back on the footage and I see a light turn off downstairs. But there's nobody home. Nobody home. Nobody home. Very weird, but a very, very good capture. Check this out. I mean, people could be like, oh, well, there was somebody down there, and I wouldn't post something like that, right? This is crazy.
The craziest part of this footage is that you can clearly hear the sound of the light switch being flipped. That sharp, unmistakable click that only happens when someone physically touches it. Your first thought might be an intruder, right? Someone wandering through the house without his knowledge. But that theory falls apart quickly when you know the other things he's shared. Objects in his house have moved suddenly without explanation. A few times, items have even fallen on him, as if pushed, and more than once, he's caught faint laughter echoing from this exact same room. Soft, almost playful, but definitely not human. Viewers who analyzed his older clips pointed out something else. Strange-looking dolls and toys scattered around the room, some with faces that look unsettlingly worn or distorted. He's never addressed their origin, but people can't help but wonder if one of them is tied to whatever's going on. So when you take everything together, the laughter, the objects moving, the eerie toys, and now a light switch flipping on its own, the idea of an intruder becomes the least likely explanation. It feels more like something has made this room its space, something that doesn't mind being heard, and now doesn't mind being seen. But in the end, I'll leave it to you. What do you think he's dealing with? Having a home camera is like having an extra pair of eyes watching the moments you never even knew were happening. And that's exactly what happened in this next clip you're about to see. Watch. The camera suddenly detected movement, followed by loud banging and knocking that seemed to come out of nowhere. The owner of the house said it felt like something was there, something she couldn't see but definitely could hear. That's why she decided to share the footage online, hoping other people might catch something she's been missing. So take another look. What else do you see in this clip? In this next clip, a man and his son went to check on a storage unit where he keeps all his fancy collectibles and strange antiques. But lately he's been convinced something malevolent is inside that unit. Objects shift on their own, and even the employees have reached out to complain about loud crashes and bangs coming from his space. They even invited him over so they could show him the clips themselves, and confirm whether he was anywhere near the facility when those sounds were recorded. But he wasn't. And that only made his suspicions feel a whole lot more real. But the staff didn't believe him at first, so he decided to prove it. He set up cameras inside the unit. Watch.
But just watch the video for yourself.
After he posted this clip, viewers swarmed the comments warning him to never take the cursed monkey doll home. This doll, which cost him nearly $2,000, has a history he didn't know about until it was too late. From the moment he brought it into the unit, the activity escalated. Wherever this doll sits, things fall, objects slide, and even heard from people that once owned something like it that it might be tied to old ceremonial practices, or that the doll was once used as a vessel in rituals meant to house wandering spirits. Whether any of that is true, well, that's up for debate, but one thing is certain, he's never carrying that doll home. Now, in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration inside one of Nebraska's most notoriously haunted places, the Argo Hotel. If you've been following his investigations, you already know this place has a reputation for strange activity, and Ian has captured plenty of it on camera. But on this night, after wrapping up his walkthrough, he realized there was one room he hadn't checked. Watch.
Those are some freaky dolls. Did you just make that noise? It definitely came from over here. Little girl, if that was you, would you be able to... Oh God! Alright, that's it. That's it. That doll just turned and looked at me, and I am done. Get me out of here. Alright guys, I know I ran, but damn, that was freaky. I don't know, I just couldn't handle it down there anymore. There's just a whole nother feeling, especially when you're all by yourself. Oh man, that was so freaking crazy. I can't believe that doll just turned and looked at me like that. It looked like it was possessed. Like it literally, like I was worried I was gonna get possessed or something. Like, oh my gosh, dude, that was so freaking scary. Holy moly. But anyways, I'm gonna leave cameras down there for the rest of the night. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm about at my limit for now. But this is a fantastic location. I absolutely love this place. This was such a fun investigation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, be sure to like it. Again, comment your thoughts down below, and also subscribe if you haven't already. But I'll see you guys on the next one.
The doll suddenly turns, slowly, directly toward him, almost like it's aware of him, like it's responding. And in that moment, Ian is done. Completely done with this place. He leaves immediately. No hesitation, no second guesses. But the question is, how did it move? The most well-known spirit in the Argo Hotel is a woman named Alice, believed to haunt the basement. According to local stories, she passed away in childbirth in the 1940s, and people say she still wanders the halls searching for her lost baby. Some think she attaches herself to children's toys. Others believe dolls act as vessels that make it easier for her to communicate. Whatever the case may be, the Argo Hotel continues to leave investigators with more questions than answers, and to this day, the mystery remains. The following video is about a lady named Savannah, who's now in serious need of help, because it's starting to look like she's living through a real-life paranormal phenomenon. For months, she's been dealing with things she can't explain. Footsteps pacing around her room late at night, objects disappearing and reappearing in different places, her closet door cracking open on its own, and the overwhelming sensation that someone is standing right beside her whenever she tries to fall asleep. But things escalated the night she swore she felt something sit on her chest while she slept. And what truly pushed her to her breaking point was when she heard something in the darkness, mimicking her voice, calling her cat. She screamed, thinking she was losing her mind. Then she eventually set up cameras. What you're about to see is a compilation from different nights. Everything her camera captured. Watch.
What?
Some nights, small objects would shift and slide across the room as if nudged by invisible hands. Other nights, something would crawl underneath her blanket, pressing against her legs as she slept. There were moments where her cat would freeze, stare at the corner of the room, and suddenly jump as if something tried to pick it up. And on the worst nights, she'd wake up feeling a tight pressure around her foot, like something was slowly trying to pull her off the bed. She's already blessed her room, she's placed crosses around her apartment, she's tried cleansing, prayers, everything. But whatever is there doesn't seem to care. Now she's asking for help, because at this point, she's genuinely afraid of what might happen next. If you have any suggestions, now's the time to share. Who knows, your comment might be the solution she's been searching for. In this next clip, a paranormal investigator decided to explore an old crematorium, and after what he experienced there, he says he won't be going back anytime soon. Watch this.
This is crazy.
crematoriums already have a chilling history. These are places where countless families said their final goodbyes. Places where bodies are prepared, tagged, and stored before the final process. And in older crematoriums, especially those that have been shut down for years, many say the air never really loses that heaviness, as if the walls themselves remember everything they've seen. Some former workers claim that late at night, before closure, they'd hear metal trays shifting on their own, or doors to the furnace room slamming despite no draft. Others swear that once a body is cremated, the spirit doesn't always follow immediately. Sometimes it lingers, confused, or attached to the place where its physical form spent its final moments. Strange noises in an abandoned building are one thing, but inside a crematorium, with that history, this is the kind of place you enter once, and then decide it's better not to return. Now, in this next video, a mother named Christy has been dealing with something that's starting to unsettle her in ways she can't explain. For days now, she's noticed a strange pattern. She'll be talking to her little boy, something simple, everyday conversations, and suddenly he'll stop mid-sentence, freeze, and stare off toward a very specific part of the house. No blinking, no reacting. Almost like he's watching something move that she can't see. At first, she brushed it off as childish distraction, saying kids zone out all the time. But it kept happening, and each time, his eyes went to the same direction. One evening, while she was prepping dinner, he did it again. Only this time, he wouldn't stop pointing toward the dining room, repeating the same thing over and over with a strange calmness that made her skin crawl. Watch this.
Where's the ghost?
Look at it.
What do you see?
I see something in a tiny room.
What is
I
it?
see something in a tiny room.
Where is it?
Perhaps. You're too rude.
I don't see it.
I'm opening it. It's perhaps. See, look. I'm opening it. Hey, I'll open this one. You is one.
What?
You is one.
There's what?
You is.
What'd you see?
Next to my eye.
What?
That's my side on. To my side on the hat. To my side on the hat.
It's okay.
I see a vaccine pudding on a. I see a vaccine pudding in a hat.
You see what?
A vaccine pudding in a hat.
Imagine your own child saying something like that, with that kind of certainty. Christy finally took him to the dining room to figure out exactly where this thing was supposed to be. It turned out to be a picture hanging on the wall. But here's the part that's confusing her the most. That picture has been there for months. He's walked past it hundreds of times, eaten dinner right across from it, played near it. And it has never bothered him, so why now? Some people think kids are naturally more sensitive, and maybe he's suddenly picking up on something attached to the photo, an energy, a memory, or a presence that wasn't active before. Whatever the case is, something about that picture has clearly changed. And until she gets more answers, this one remains unsolved. The following video was captured outside an Argentinian hospital. A man had just finished visiting someone and was heading back to his car when he suddenly heard a loud bang. Thinking maybe someone needed help or that something had fallen, he walked toward the sound. But when he got there, the place was completely empty, so he headed back to his car. And that's when he noticed this. Watch.
Estamos en este momento en el microhospital, escuchamos un golpe y nos dimos vuelta porque dijimos, bueno, ¿quién está entrando? Cuestión de que no hay nadie atrás nuestro. Y miramos dentro del auto y dijimos, oh, pues el auto, qué mierda es. Lo peor de todo es que no queremos salir. Un miedo, la puta madre. Lo peor de todo es que se mueve adentro el auto y no hay nadie. O sea, ahora vamos a ir a controlar el auto. Pero parece como si fuese un reflejo. La puta madre. Uf. No, huevo. Ya, salimos rápido para que vean que no es mentira. Mamá, la piel de gallina, hermano. Piel de gallina. Cagazo. Nadie. Nadie. Un montón. Es un montón. Mierda. Y encima nos mira la puta que te parió. No, chabón. No. Desapareció. La concha.
The moment he saw what was sitting in the back seat, you can tell his entire body reacted. When he lifted his arm to the camera, you could literally count each hair standing straight up. That's not something you fake, that's a full body fear response. But what really got people talking were the details, especially the movement of the face. Whatever was in that car wasn't a reflection, and it definitely wasn't a person hiding inside, because he didn't even take the camera off the car until he reached for the door. And when the head suddenly ducked behind the driver's seat, yeah, reflections don't do that. Now, here's where this gets even more unsettling. This didn't happen in just any location. It happened right outside a hospital, a place where people pass on, where emotions run heavy, where many believe spirits linger the longest before moving on. So the real question is, what exactly entered that car? And why did it wait until he was alone? This one remains a mystery. Now, in this next clip, a lady's dog has been acting out ever since she got a new truck. At first, she thought it was nothing. Maybe he just wasn't familiar with the sound or smell. But the more she paid attention, the more unsettling things became. Have a look.
What is it? What is it? But there's nothing over here.
After watching this clip, some people said it could be the tires. Maybe the rubber was warm, maybe the scent was strange to him. But then a different wave of comments rolled in, questions that made the whole situation feel a lot darker. People started asking whether the truck was actually new, if she knew anything about the previous owners, or if the truck had ever been involved in an accident, because dogs don't usually whine like that unless they're reacting to something they don't understand, or something we can't see. She eventually came forward with an update that surprised everyone. The truck is brand new and she's already checked underneath, inside, and around the engine for any animals or signs of something stuck. Yet, Titus still behaves like this. She also revealed that ever since she brought the truck home, Titus has never agreed to get inside, not even once, and honestly, the comments weren't helping either. People began warning her that dogs can sense what humans can't, and that her dog might be reacting to a dangerous spirit attached to the vehicle. Some even went as far as saying that if she doesn't get it blessed, she could end up in an accident. One morning, Titus wanted to check the garage again, barking and whining in a way she'd never seen before, so she followed him, camera in hand, and here's what she caught. At this point, she has no idea what she's dealing with anymore. And honestly, none of the explanations so far feel comforting. So what do you think? Is Titus reacting to the smell of the tires? Is there a spirit attached to the truck? Or is there something else we're missing? Something that ties all these events together? Now, this next video captures something most people fear more than any regular haunting: a mimic. Mimics are the type of entities people describe as intelligent, calculating, and frighteningly good at imitating the voices of people you know and trust, usually to lure you closer or get you to respond. One afternoon, a lady was home completely alone when she suddenly heard this coming from inside her house. Watch.
Are you there, honey? Open the door for mommy. Bella. Come out. Bella.
The moment people heard that voice, the comment section exploded. Not because of the sound itself, but because of the way she reacted. She didn't panic, she didn't call out, she didn't ask who's there. She stayed absolutely silent. And for good reason. Because when it comes to mimics, the #1 rule everyone repeats is, do not respond. Responding means you're already playing its game. So the fact that she stayed completely quiet is what everyone agrees might have kept this from going much further. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration at Bonanzaville, an open-air museum made up of old, fully preserved historic buildings from different eras of North Dakota. In the last video we posted, Ian entered the Telephone Museum, but this time he went to the Brass Rail Saloon in the Page Hotel, said to be one of the most active buildings on the entire property. Built in 1889, this place used to be a bustling stop for travelers. Food, liquor, music, rooms upstairs, the whole deal. But today, it's known for something else entirely. Voices that shouldn't exist, footsteps pacing empty rooms, and unexplained noises that seem to follow anyone who dares explore the second floor alone. Watch this.
Could you do that again? If there's anyone in here, I invite you to come sit with me. I just want to get to know some of the people that are here. I hear that there's a lot of spirits in this building. Could you walk up to this table and sit down with me? I mean, I didn't bring any cards or anything, but I mean, if you've got some, I don't know if you can in the afterlife, but feel free to sit on this table here. Whoa. I just heard that chair move. Holy moly.
Unfortunately, he had his infrared light pointing directly at the camera, making the chair in front of him impossible to see. But the moment he stepped out of that room, something else happened.
Is there anybody in here? Whoa. That came from in there. I think I might have heard somebody in here. Is there anyone in here? Whoa! Oh my God! It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna run. Did you just tap on that bed? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. That scared the living daylights out of me. Holy moly. Dude, that was a freaking voice. I heard it so clear on this voice recorder. Oh, it was a female. It was a female voice.
Ian was almost convinced there had to be someone else inside the building with him, but the footage says it all. He was completely alone, so the question is, who or what answered Ian that night? And why is her voice still echoing through a building that hasn't hosted a living guest in over a century? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip was captured by Amanda, who's had some of the strangest encounters inside her home. About 2 weeks after she moved in, she woke up one morning to shocking news. A body had been found in her backyard. And according to Amanda, ever since that day, the house hasn't felt the same. Have a look.
I am freaked the f out. I just got home and tell me why my chairs are like this. Like what the f. I literally still have my coat on. I come walking through the fucking. Oh my god. I'm like shaking right now. I just went and dropped my daughter off to her dad's house. And all the chairs were around the table. What the f. Oh my god. I need to call my mom.
Chairs don't end up like this by accident, and this is not something caused by drafts, pets, or structural shifts. In paranormal discussions, this kind of activity is often linked to an intelligence trying to be noticed, especially when the setup is visually striking rather than destructive. Since then, Amanda says doors open on their own, lights flicker and malfunction, and the house feels different, heavier, quieter, like something is always just out of view. Some believe the discovery of the body may have triggered residual energy tied to trauma, while others think the attention and disturbance surrounding the property may have awakened something that was already there. Skeptics argue stress and fear can heighten awareness, making ordinary issues feel sinister, but others point out that recurring physical changes, especially ones involving multiple objects, are harder to dismiss. Now, Amanda just wants to know one thing. Is there a chance this all has a normal explanation? Or is this a situation that requires real intervention before it escalates? What do you think? This next video was captured by a family's security camera, installed after everyone in the house woke up to a loud bang in the middle of the night, followed by several other unsettling incidents they couldn't explain. Hoping to catch whatever was happening, they set up cameras. Take a look. Aside from the obvious breathing sound, viewers immediately notice something else. On the right side of the screen, along the staircase, something moved. When the family reviewed this footage, it made other moments fall into place. Just weeks earlier, the sister of one of the couples living here called her and asked what she was doing standing on her front porch. Now here's the problem. She wasn't home. She was at work, nowhere near the house. But the anxiety in the house escalated when the family noticed their dogs reacting. Watch this.
What is wrong, Cole? Stop barking. Connor! Knock it off! Hey! Barking at the door again. No one's there. Go on, Quee. No one's there, honey. Nobody's here. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
The dog repeatedly barks at the door, staring at it with focus. Not playful, not distracted, but locked in, as if responding to something it can sense but humans can't. Animals are often said to react to subtle changes in energy, sound frequencies, or presence long before people do. And when pets fixate on empty spaces, doors, or corners, many believe it's because something unseen has crossed into our world. And if you look at the activities they've experienced, the breathing caught on camera, the movement on the stairs, the mimic sighting on the porch, and the dogs reacting, this no longer feels like a single incident. It feels like a pattern. So could this be heightened anxiety and coincidence? Or is something inside the house slowly making itself known, watching, copying, and waiting? You decide. Now, in this next video, Nate, who's been trying to get to the bottom of whatever is happening inside his house, captures something new on camera. By now, his experiences follow a disturbing pattern. He wakes up to objects scattered across his kitchen floor, his dog refuses to enter certain corners of the house, and the sound of footsteps moving along the stairs when no one else is home. One night, while waiting for a UFC fight to start, he begins hearing something unusual. Listen closely.
Guys, I want you guys to check this out. So, I'm just chilling here, waiting for the UFC fights to start. Dog's there. And I'm just sitting here. I was re-racking my weights. And I was hearing the scratching. And it sounded like it was coming from like right in front of me. But I don't see anything. Like, I heard it. But I was like looking. And it sounded like it was coming from like... You hear that? What the f is that? It sounded like it was coming from like right in front here, but... I don't see anything else. What the f? Like, I have no clue.
Hearing scratching or dragging sounds can mean something is trying to mark territory or test physical boundaries, especially when it happens repeatedly in the same areas of a home. Another detail viewers couldn't ignore is Nate's environment. His house is almost always dark. Many believe prolonged darkness, cluttered spaces, and low lighting can make activity feel stronger, either by heightening fear or, according to paranormal belief, by creating conditions where negative entities feel more comfortable. Another night, a different sound woke him. This time, it wasn't scratching, it was stomping, and when Nate got up to check the house, this happened.
Hey guys. So I was upstairs and was woken up to the sound of stomping down here. I mean, loud. loud stomping. It is currently 2:52 a.m. So it's a little before 3 a.m. And the weird thing about it is when I woke up to the sound of the stomping, the dog was sleeping, not even alerted. It's almost like she couldn't hear it. So, as soon as I came down, I walked into like a cold spot. It felt like a certain area was cold. But it was loud. It was such a loud stomp. Like I said, it's 2:53 a.m.
Scratching, stomping, footsteps, all familiar at this point. But what truly unsettled him was something else entirely. His dog didn't react. Normally, animals respond instantly to loud physical sounds, yet during the stomping, his dog remained unusually calm, as if it either couldn't hear it or didn't perceive it the same way Nate did. Some believe the dog may have already learned to avoid reacting, but this concern quickly became secondary. Because the next morning, Nate woke up to something far more disturbing: scratches on his body. If this had happened once, it's easy to say he accidentally scratched himself while he was asleep, a reaction to fabric, even stress-related skin irritation. But it didn't stop. It kept happening. And on the morning after the stomping incident, he recorded this. Watch.
So the people that were asking for a better view of the scratch that I woke up with on my leg, here it is. Like I said, it's not super deep, but it goes down pretty far. And I also noticed on the opposite side, I have two here on the same leg, but on the opposite side, that I woke up this morning with. Now, these ones didn't burn as bad as this one. This one was 2 mornings ago when I woke up. This burned, and I looked down and saw that. And then this morning when I got up at like 2:30 a.m., I woke up to stomping downstairs. And it wasn't until after I worked out and everything that I noticed these. So, yeah, that's the update.
As Nate shows the marks on his body, many viewers begin connecting everything. The scratching sounds at night, the dragging noises, the stomping footsteps, and now, physical marks appearing while he sleeps. This points to something more than a simple house haunting. Physical interaction, especially repeated scratching, is often cited in cases involving attachments rather than locations. Some believe this points towards something escalating, moving from environmental disturbances to personal interaction. Others think whatever is in the house may be trying to assert control, feeding on fear, isolation, or even exhaustion. And the most disturbing part, the activity isn't random anymore. It's consistent. And it's getting closer. So whether it's an attachment, an oppressive presence, or something feeding off the darkness and silence, one thing is clear. Whatever this is, it's no longer staying in the shadows. And until Nate gets answers, this case remains deeply unsettling and completely unsolved. In the following video, a woman's first son is home alone, quietly watching TV when he suddenly hears someone call his name. At first, he doesn't think much of it, until he responds and hears the voice again. This time, it sounds exactly like his little brother. Watch.
Hola. ¿Quién es? Soy yo. ¿Tú? ¿Quieres jugar a la pelota? Pero la Chu no se había ido al médico con mi madre. ¡Hijo de p***!
Hola, Michael. No, si la Chu está acá en el médico, estamos en el médico acá, vamos a demorar un poco para llegar. No estamos en casa.
The confusion sets in immediately. His brother isn't home, he's at the hospital with their mother, waiting to see a doctor. So there's no possible reason for his voice to be inside the house. But many viewers believe he didn't handle the situation well when he responded. In paranormal folklore, responding to a voice you can't verify is often considered a mistake, especially when the voice belongs to someone who physically isn't there. Many believe mimics rely on acknowledgement, and once you answer, you're confirming awareness, opening the door for further interaction. That's why one of the most repeated rules in cases like this is simple: don't respond, don't investigate, and don't follow the voice. As for what this could be, most people landed on two possibilities: a mimic or a doppelganger. And while the terms are often used interchangeably online, there's an important difference. A mimic imitates voices to provoke a response. It doesn't need to be seen. It feeds on confusion and fear, using familiar voices to draw someone in, often calling names or repeating phrases. Also, it's usually heard before it's ever seen, if it's seen at all. A doppelganger, on the other hand, is typically visual. It's believed to appear as a full physical copy of a person, seen walking, standing, or watching, sometimes even interacting briefly before disappearing. Doppelgangers are less about sound and more about presence. In this case, there's no figure, no visual confirmation, just a voice, perfectly copied, calling out from inside the house. That leans heavily toward a mimic, and once a voice knows you'll answer, it rarely stops calling. So, which was it? You decide. Now, in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his investigation inside the infamous Boyd house. At this point, he's still inside the room with the haunted painting, the same room where the power mysteriously died the moment the artwork was brought in. Earlier, Ian heard a heavy dragging sound echo through the room. Most people would have left immediately, but Ian didn't. Instead of backing out, he stayed put and began slowly scanning the room, hoping to capture something. Watch closely.
See if anyone's out in the hallway here. Oh my god. Calm down. Calm down. That sounded like a growl. And worst of all, it came from that closet that I was just in. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh whoa, what the hell is that? Dude, what the oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm ready to get the hell out of here. There's something in there. There's something in there.
Aside from the low, unsettling growl that can be heard, something far more disturbing appears on his thermal camera. When you look closer, the shape resembles a distorted human face, and this room has a long history of activity. Ever since that painting arrived, the disturbances seem to center there. No electricity, sudden noises, and now, a possible manifestation. Many believe cursed objects can act as anchors, giving something a place to attach itself, feed from, and eventually show itself. If that's true, then this raises an unsettling question. Was this the first time the entity tied to the painting allowed itself to be seen? Or has it always been there, just waiting for someone to stay long enough to notice it? For more haunting videos, including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, a guy is making a quick video to show his sister's fiance just how creepy the crematorium where he works can get after hours. What starts as a casual walkthrough quickly turns into something far more disturbing. Watch this.
Lights, they turn off automatically at a certain hour. And I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk you through Now, I have a friend that works that he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here, they usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out. This is crazy.
Now, crematoriums already carry a heavy atmosphere. The energy there is said to linger trapped between the living and the dead. Some even believe places like this can absorb emotions, grief, pain, fear, and release them in strange ways. Others think the constant contact with the deceased could make it easier for spirits to attach themselves to the living, especially workers who spend long nights alone. Now, back to the guy in this video. He's convinced there's a ghost haunting this crematorium, and until someone gives him a better explanation for what he saw, he's not budging from that theory. So what do you think? Paranormal encounter, or something else? You decide. Now, this next video was captured at around 3:15 in the morning, and after what happened, there was no way the guy could go back to sleep. Watch this.
Estaba por entrar a mi casa, son 3:15 de la mañana, y la luz empieza a ser así, no sé. Sinceramente siento que hay alguien acá. No sé por qué lo presiento. Si te querés mostrar, mostrate ahora. Hay alguien sentado ahí. Hay alguien sentado. Mostrate.
Only people who've woken up to the sound of something unexplainable can truly relate to the kind of terror this brings. That feeling of being watched, of knowing you're not alone, And for this guy, it's not a one-time event. Strange things keep happening in his home, often at the same exact hour, like something's deliberately choosing that time to make itself known. But many who followed his story were relieved to find out it wasn't the Teddy this time, the same Teddy that's moved on its own in several of his earlier videos. But that only made people wonder, what if it was never the Teddy? What if whatever's in his home simply uses different objects to get his attention, or worse, to toy with him? Some say he's dealing with a spirit that feeds off fear, while others think something darker might be attached to the house itself. Until he shares another update, what's really tormenting him remains a mystery. In the following clip, a woman named Jess shares a chilling story, one that's been haunting her for over a decade. Jess lost a close friend named Derek 13 years ago, and ever since then, he's never really left. No matter where she moves, strange things follow. Lights flickering, footsteps in empty rooms, objects shifting on their own. And in her new home, one she moved into just a few months ago, it seems Derek has somehow found her again. Watch this.
Mary, what? He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Mary, he's doing it again. Derek! Hey, Derek! I know you're dude. Derek! Derek! I'm talking to you, man. Stop me, dude. Calm down, Jessica. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. It's just Derek. It's just Derek. Hey, Derek. Hey, Derek. What you doing, buddy? I miss you. Derek. What are you doing, buddy? You know I love you. You know I love you. Hey, Derek. Come on, you dumb... What the f...
Now, a lot of people believe Jess might be unknowingly holding on to something that once belonged to Derek, something personal that's keeping his spirit tethered to her. Others think Derek could be trying to communicate, perhaps trying to deliver a message she's missed for over 13 years, something that, once understood, might finally allow him to move on. But not everyone agrees. Some say she's making a dangerous mistake, that what she's experiencing isn't Derek at all, but something pretending to be him, using her grief to gain her trust. A few even suggested she check her attic, where energies tend to gather in old houses, and when she finally did, this is what she found.
Y'all wanted me to come up into the attic, okay? This is the wall that y'all saw some shit on. And these are the stairs. Like, my husband has all his clothes, of course. But if you look up there, there's no windows. I'm not going all the way up there because it scares the shit out of me. There's no windows. There's a sofa, some mirrors, a chair, his clothes, but there's no windows up here, okay? There's nothing up here that would have done anything. See? No window. No window. No windows. nothing. Absolutely nothing up here. Other than like his toolboxes and a chair. I'm not going up here because it's too scary for me. But there are some mirrors, which is weird for an attic. A fan. See, there's no windows. This is my attic. There's nothing up here that could have done that shit. Alright, I'm getting the out of here because it feels weird.
So, is Jess truly being visited by the spirit of her old friend? Or something else wearing his face to keep her believing? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, in this next clip, we're looking at footage captured inside a daycare in East Tennessee, one that used to be an old church before it was converted. Watch this.
The video I'm about to show you is very disturbing. I'm just gonna let it play for you and then I'll give you the background.
See? Lights go off. Now watch. You're gonna see.
What you just saw was security footage that was sent to me by a woman who worked at a daycare in East Tennessee, Appalachia region. This daycare is actually a very old church that was turned into like a private daycare school. She said that events leading up to this, she was kind of having some weird experiences where she would be in her office after hours and would hear like people walking down the stairs, and then she would go check the stairwell and nobody would be there, or she would hear noises coming from classrooms and open up the door and see nothing. She said she would be the only one on the property at this time because she was in charge of like opening the daycare center, and then she would often stay after hours. So nobody was in the building when she was hearing these noises. On this particular day, she was opening the daycare. She went in that door that you saw at the end of the hall and noticed there was an iPad laying on the ground. This was really odd to her because these iPads are put into this like cabinet area that are hooked on like chargers. And she said they're very secure and they're like sitting up on charging decks, if that makes sense. She thought maybe an intruder came in or something, so she immediately notified the security officer who came and checked the camera footage. And that is the camera footage that you saw. Literally, the way that iPad just flings out of that cabinet is giving me chills right now. In the beginning, I feel like I also saw some kind of an orb object, but I've watched this video so many times and I feel like it's just unexplainable. Tell me what you saw in the video, if you saw the orbs like I did, or if you noticed anything else that's odd, and leave in the comments if you have any weird experiences like this.
The way that iPad flew across the room is hard to wrap your head around. Now here's a bit of context. The woman who shared this video works at the daycare and said there had been a series of strange occurrences long before this day. She'd often stay late in her office and hear what sounded like footsteps coming down the old wooden stairs, only to find no one there. Other times, faint noises would come from the classrooms after hours, toys rattling, drawers opening, whispers she couldn't quite make out. On the morning this footage was recorded, she arrived early and found one of the iPads lying on the floor. Now, she's the one who usually opens the daycare, so at that time, the building should have been completely empty, the iPads locked away in a cabinet as usual. Thinking it might have been a break-in, she called security. Omen people believe it's residual energy from when the building was still a church, that maybe the spirits of those who once gathered there never really left. Others think the conversion of the sacred space might have disturbed something that didn't want to be moved, but what do you think really happened inside that old daycare? In this next clip, a woman was walking down a quiet street late at night when her camera picked up something she couldn't explain. Watch.
Or the sub for you is going to be more. Everything's going up, but our wages aren't going up. Because I'm still seeing wages that are fucking pitiful on Indeed. Oh yay, I can make oh yeah, I can make the same amount of money I made when I was out of high school, you know? Looks like there was a figure just standing right there. That's so crazy. I think it was my own shadow. That happens way too often.
At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a shadow, but take a closer look. The outline, the faint movement, and those glowing eyes staring straight at her. Some viewers think she may have caught a shadow figure, a manifestation often linked to dark energy or spiritual unrest. Others believe it's something far more physical, a creature that thrives in the dark, staying just beyond our understanding. There could be many other explanations for what she saw, like a trick of the light, an animal, or maybe something else entirely. But the idea that it could be something aware of her presence is what makes this clip so unsettling. Because if figures like this can move freely among us, unnoticed and unbothered, it makes you wonder what else is out there when the streets go quiet. So, what do you think she captured that night? And do you believe that some things walk among us? Some seen and others we were never meant to see? Now, in this next clip, a woman named Keys has been dealing with strange activity in her home, the kind that keeps her up at night. But this time, she finally managed to catch something on camera. Watch this.
What is happening right now? First the door was moving, then I heard like talking, and then I keep seeing shadows. And for anyone telling me that I should go out there, yeah, why don't you go out there, please? Oh, it just opened and shut right in front of me. Oh man, I wish I could. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! I'm freaking out. And before anyone comes at me, it's freaking the middle of October in Pennsylvania. It's freezing out, so I have no windows open. I have one fan that circulates throughout the whole room, and that door has never done that. Like, it's moved on its own, but never just like slammed shut like that. I can't believe I just caught that on camera. What the actual believe I just caught that. And of course I'm alone. Yay me. Fun times.
Whatever that was, it's not the first time she's seen it. Keys says things like this have been happening for months. Objects moving on their own, lights flickering even when the power's stable, and that unsettling feeling that someone's standing right behind her when no one is there. She's tried everything from cleansing rituals to changing rooms, but nothing seems to stop it. And now, after this footage, she's starting to wonder if whatever's haunting her house might be getting stronger. If you've ever experienced something similar, drop your thoughts below. What did you do to make it stop? Because at this point, Keys is running out of ideas and courage. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian visits one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. This place has a long and unsettling history. Years ago, when it was still a sanatorium, a woman named Alice reportedly died during childbirth in the basement. Since then, people say her spirit never left. They hear her crying softly in the hallways at night, sometimes calling for her baby. But here's the disturbing part. During renovations, workers found skeletal remains of an infant sealed inside one of the walls. Many believe it was Alice's child, and she's not the only one said to haunt this place. Guests staying in room 1 often complain about their blankets being tugged off in the middle of the night, or waking up to the sound of faint breathing right beside them. On November 28, 2024, Ian decided to spend the night alone inside the Argo Hotel, hoping to capture proof of what's really happening here. Watch.
That sounded like a lady's voice, right there. I swear to God, I just heard that right behind me. Alice, is that you? She's that ghostly woman that they see wandering around. Could you say something again? I don't know if I'm just losing it, but I swear to God I heard that. I'm not hearing anything else. It's dead quiet. Alice, was that you I just heard? Whoa. There's something standing right over there. It was right behind that couch. There was something literally standing in that photo. It was like a mist or something. But I'm not seeing it anymore. It's completely gone.
So was that Alice still wandering these halls, or something else entirely? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following clip, a couple begins to notice strange, unexplained movements inside their home. It starts subtly, items not being where they were left, an uneasy feeling when certain rooms go quiet, and moments where it feels like someone else is present even when they're alone. One evening, one of them notices something she's absolutely certain about. The blinds in one room are open, even though she clearly remembers closing them. She shuts them again and leaves the room. Minutes later, she returns, and the blinds are open, so this time, instead of brushing it off, she stays, pulls out her phone, and starts recording to see what's causing it. Watch closely.
Me, or is that an opening? Let me pause this shit, cause is it me? Oh my God, baby. Baby. Is it me or are they fucking opening?
After the video was shared, explanations quickly followed. Some suggested the blinds might be loose or no longer tight enough, slowly slipping down on their own. Others speculated that someone could be standing outside the window. But when she stepped outside to check for footprints or signs of anyone nearby, there were none. No marks, no disturbance, nothing that could explain it. What makes this harder for the couple to dismiss is that this isn't the only strange thing they've experienced. They've openly said they believe they're gifted with sight, able to sense and see spirits, and because of past experiences, they're already open to the idea that the paranormal is very real. They've encountered unusual things outside their home as well, events that reinforce that belief. One moment that stands out happened when they took their nephew Nick to the park shortly after he lost his best friend. While spending time there, something unexpected was captured. Watch and listen closely.
This is a video of our nephew at the park, and his best friend had recently died. Let us know what you hear.
Ow, my head! My head got hurt twice!
Some people hear a voice saying, "Nick, I love you." Others believe it says, "I can help you." Was this a comforting message meant only for him, or something else entirely trying to make contact? Let me know what you heard. Now, in this next clip, A man is trying to get to the root of why his younger daughter is terrified of a particular toy. Every time she sees it, she cries. When it's brought closer, she screams and tries to get away, refusing to stay in the same room with it. She won't touch it, won't look at it for long, and becomes visibly distressed whenever it's nearby. Behavior that her parents say doesn't happen with any of her other toys. One evening, hoping to understand what was triggering such a strong reaction, the father brings the toy out again with the help of his older daughter. As they interact with it, he suddenly notices something unsettling. Watch.
Okay, pull the string.
Okay.
Let it go slow. Alright, now do it regular. Alright, I'll do it again, but a little slower.
Before jumping to conclusions, it's important to know what this toy actually is. Viewers quickly pointed out that it's a 1985 Secret Care Bear, one of the early talking toys. Unlike modern toys that use digital electronics, these older models relied on sound cylinders. The slower the pull string retracts, the slower the cylinder turns, which can cause the voice to stretch, warp, and distort, similar to forcing a vinyl record to slow down mid-play. Back in the day, many parents complained that these toys sounded disturbing, even describing the voices as demonic, but that's not where the concern ends. Some people took things much further, pointing to the symbols on the Care Bears' bellies, known as belly badges. According to proponents, these symbols resemble veves, religious markings used in voodoo practices believed to act as spiritual beacons or invitations for specific entities. While others dismiss this as coincidence or overinterpretation, those who believe in spiritual sensitivity argue that children are often more perceptive to energies adults ignore. So if this little girl reacts so strongly to this specific toy, could it really be just the distorted voice? Or is she sensing something else entirely? I'd leave you to be the judge of this one. In the following clip, a woman was just about to take a shower when her friend FaceTimed her. During the call, the friend jokingly teased her about the way she had wrapped her hair before hanging up. Laughing it off, she decided to rewrap it properly and record a short video to send back as proof she could do it better this time. But while she was recording, something completely unexpected happened. Watch closely. From her reaction alone, you can tell how deeply it shook her. And honestly, it's hard to blame her. She had already heard unsettling stories from neighbors in the building, reports of curtains moving on their own, unexplained knocking late at night, and even whispers coming from empty rooms. So when her own curtains suddenly began moving violently, not swaying gently, but tugged as if someone was deliberately pulling it, panic took over, and in that moment, running was the only thing she could think to do. But if whatever caused that movement had actually shifted into her apartment, many argue that running alone wouldn't solve anything. But is there a chance this is a one-time incident? Or should she start taking it seriously?